Isaiah 43, and I'm going to read in parts, and then in your own time, I hope that you can go in and really read it. But now, God's message, the God who made you in the first place, the one who got you started. Don't be afraid. I've redeemed you. I've called your name. You are mine. When you're in over your head, I'll be there with you. When you're in rough waters, you will not go down. When you're between a rock and a hard place, it won't be a dead end. Because I am your God, your personal God. So I'm going to stop right here. Those couple of verses right there, it's stuff that we can really just breeze through. But I want us to really look at it and really think about what it's. He who created me and formed me. He who created you and formed you, redeemed you, saved you. He called you by name, and he made you his. And then it goes on to talk about when you pass through the waters, he's with you. When you pass through the rivers, you won't drown. Basically, when you walk through the fire, you won't even get burned. Like the flames, even the flames will obey God. Even the flames will say, oh, snap, like, I'm not going to burn her, because they're all in obedience to what God is doing. And I think this speaks loudly to the difficult times when we go through really difficult times in life. Where we feel like we're drowning, or where we feel like we're being burned. Like, even though we're not, it feels like it. The effects, we feel the effects of the fire, and we walk out of these situations still alive. Like, you made it. If you're watching this video and you went through a difficult time, you made it. You still alive, boo. You didn't die. And I think that we oversee that. We become blind to that reality, that we go through really difficult times, and while we're in it, we're like, oh, I'm going to die. Jesus, I'm going to die. Why am I going through this? Why are you letting me go through this? And the following week, it's done. Maybe we're left with some residue and still some effects and emotional scarring, but you made it. And you weren't burned. And I think that's the point that he's trying to make here. That he loves us so much. He knows who he created. He created you on purpose. And he knew that you were going to go through that stuff. But his love, it's so extravagant and so deep. Then it goes on to say, because I am your God, your personal God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior, I paid a huge price for you. All of Egypt, with rich Cush and Seba thrown in. That's how much you mean to me. That's how much I love you. I'd sell off the whole world to get you back. Trade the creation just for you. Just to have you. Like, that's crazy. That's some deep, crazy love right there. He said, I'd sell off the whole world to get you back. Trade the creation just for you. So don't be afraid. I am with you. Once again, don't be afraid, I'm with you, even when going through those difficult times. Then it goes on to say, I'll round up all your scattered children, and this is still the Message version. Pull them in from east and west. I'll send orders north and south to send them back. And when I read this, I thought of like the praying mothers that have children that were raised up in knowing of the Lord and are now living lives that are not Christ-centered and just not really living for God in that way, because they're probably stuck in very difficult times that turned into years, that turned into a very long time, and now they're lost. And I think of these mothers that are praying for their children, their children that are lost, and I think of, it's like such a great promise. Like God still will round them up. Like he still wants them, even them. And he'll answer those prayers of those moms praying, crying out for their kids. He's going to round them up. Return, and then he even says, return my sons from distant lands, my daughters from faraway places. I want them back. He wants them back as much as you do, mama, praying for your kids. He wants them back too. Every last one who bears my name, every man, woman, child whom I created for my glory. Yes, personally, I formed them and made each one of them. And then it goes on to say this. Get the blind and deaf out here and ready. The blind, though there's nothing wrong with their eyes, and the deaf, though there's nothing wrong with their ears. Then get them here from other nations out here and ready. Let's see what they have to say about this. How they account for what's happened. Let them present their expert witnesses and make their case, and let them try to convince us and what they say is true. Basically what he's saying, the people that decided to worship other gods and turn away from God, he's basically saying, what have those gods done for you? Have they kept you from the fire? Get them. The blind, the deaf, the ones that try to act like they don't see what God is really doing, or the ones that have ignored what God has done for them and turned to other gods and turned to other things. Get them. I want to hear what your gods have done. Have they kept you from the fire? Have they protected you? Do they love you with this extravagant love that I love you? Because if so, I'd love to hear it. He's a jealous God. And then he goes on to say, but you are my witnesses, the ones that know that love, the ones that are looking to him to know more of that love. You are my witnesses, declares the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, so that you may know and believe me and understand that I am he. And I'll pause right here. We go through these difficult times, and a lot of times we think that, we get so caught up in the why did this happen to me? Why did you allow this to happen to me? And we walk out of these moments in life missing it, like completely missing it. The point was, he says it right here, so that you may know, believe in me, and understand that I am he. That he is your God, that you may know. Did you walk out of that season, that difficult time? Did you walk out with some knowledge of who God is? Or did you just walk out with, woe is me, like, oh my gosh, complaining about your story and how much and how hard it was, and becoming addicted to your story, and everybody that you see, you just sharing the story of the heartache and all of that. And it's like, well, where's the peace? Did you learn about that other angle of God? Did you learn what he was trying to teach you? Did you even step into belief? And did your faith grow? Did you believe now? Like, even though I went through that difficult time, God, I believe that you still have a plan for me. Did you walk out with belief? Did you walk out with understanding? But not understanding of why this happened to you. Because that's not the point. Understanding of who he is in your life. We miss it. We miss it all the time. I remember a time, actually, around this time last year, it was a very difficult time for our family. It was a very difficult time for me. We were experiencing a lot of loss of a home church community, the warmth of that community, loss of finances with job and transitions happening, loss of a baby, a miscarriage, really wanting to grow our family, and finally it happening, and then for us to see that it's just like that, it's just gone, and me feeling like my body was betraying me, and feeling that loss, just loss after loss in that season. And I remember one night I was having a snack with Jesus. That's what I call it. I was sitting on my bed and I was like, all right, Jesus, let's have a snack. Let's have a talk, because this is too much. Like, this is a lot going on. And I said, I want you. And this is like a daring prayer, at least for me. 'Cause I'm such a control freak, and I want to know why is everything happening so that I can fix it. And I said, I want you to show me another angle of you. Like, who are you to me right now? What am I supposed to be learning here? This is a lot of loss. This is painful. Like, I feel alone. I feel empty. I feel like I have nothing. I've lost so much. Who are you trying to demonstrate yourself as? Then I stopped, and a name just popped out at me. Jehovah Shammah. And I looked at that and I'm like, Shammah? Jehovah Shammah? What is that? Jehovah Shammah means he is there. He is there. That changed everything. Because even though I was going through such a dark moment, feeling like everything was being stripped from me, feeling like I had no strength, you know, this emptiness, this hollowness, and feeling like I was going through that alone, he is there. Like, he is still there. He is all knowing. He is all seeing. And that revelation of his presence there was powerful. And that only happened because I decided to lean into him and really look to know him. A lot of times I think we just get so caught up in trying to know his hand and what's on his hand for us. Like, you know, why did you allow for this to happen? Like, I need you to save me. I need you to provide. I could have just been like, Lord, I need you to just provide some money because we clearly are broke and we clearly need to pay the rent, and I need you to provide. You know, I could have just wasted, like, so, yes, he loves his children and he will provide, and he did provide in those crazy seasons. But my perspective just shifted. He's Jehovah Shammah. He's my Jehovah Shammah. He's your Jehovah Shammah. He is there. Even if nobody else, the people that I want the most to be there, that can't be there, or whatever the case may be, like, he was there. If I would have missed that opportunity, I would have missed that knowledge. I would have missed that truth that filled me and held me like nothing else could have done that. In Isaiah, it continues on to say right after that, yes, I am God. I've always been God, and I always will be God. No one can take anything away from me. I make. Who can unmake it? And the NIV says, when I act, who can reverse it? And what my brain says, when I act, who can flip it and reverse it? Nobody. Nobody can flip it and reverse it. Not even a situation. The difficult, dark time that I went through in that season of my life, that not even that can flip and reverse the truth that he is there. Not even that. And our stories may be completely different. And there may be something that you went through that was so hard and difficult that you may be sitting there saying, well, that was like nothing. All you had, Dito, that was nothing. But you know what? It's something, and it doesn't change the fact that he is there with us and he wants to be there with us. Each and every one of his children. So let us not miss that point. Let us not miss that point. The lesson that we have to walk out with. Don't walk out of that season missing an opportunity. See your difficult time as an opportunity to know God, to really know him, to believe him, and understand that beautiful love. He who made a way through the sea, a path through the mighty waters, who drew out the chariots and horses, the army and reinforcements together, and they lay there never to rise again. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. My goodness, don't miss it, boo-boo. He's making a way. He's making a way. He's made a way already. All you have to do is walk right through it. Because the flames are not going to burn you. And because the waters are not going to drown you. And even though it feels like everything is crushing you, walk through. Walk through. Because he is there. Because he's your Jehovah Shammah. All you have to do is reach out. Reach out and open up your heart to know and believe and understand that crazy love that he has for you. That crazy love that would exchange everything and anything just to have you. Move earth and sky just to have you. That's that love that you have to lean in. And don't dwell so much on the past. I think it's very important to go back to our past and look at the pains and the hurts and look at the way that, our brokenness and how it's affected us in our lives, but not to become victims of it. Not to become victims of it, no. So that we can have a testimony to share and witness. This is what he wants us to do. He says witness of what you've understood. Witness, be a witness. Being a witness is telling, sharing, not being afraid to proclaim, to say, this is what I learned about God in that hard time. This is what I've learned. This is what I've understood. This is what I believe. Because I said yes to that understanding and welcomed that in my life. I wanted to learn. I wanted to receive that. I let God's love in. And then you'll experience that new life. It says, don't you see it? Now it springs up. Don't you perceive it? I'm making a way. Will you walk in that way? Or will you just stay in the past and just become addicted to your story? Or and get high on it and then just enjoy just moping in it and just getting sucked in that difficult time? Or are you gonna perceive it? Are you gonna see that there's already been a way made for you? You can do it. You can see it. I believe it. Paul has this amazing prayer that I wanted to pray over you ladies. And it reads this way. And wherever you are, I pray that your heart is open, still open to receive even this prayer. I pray that out of his glorious riches, he may strengthen you with power through his spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have the power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp, that you may have the power to grasp, even in that difficult time, to grasp how wide, how long, how high and deep is the love of Christ for you. And to know that you will know this love that surpasses knowledge, that surpasses the difficult time, the dark time, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God, all that he has to offer, that you may be filled with all of that, because he wants to fill you with all of that, because he loves you that deep. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.